Okay. Good to see you all. Thanks for doing virtual Zoom yoga today. Let's come to a comfortable cross-legged position. So let's all go ahead and cross our right shin in front of the left. And before we sit tall, let's just start to rock around in the hips. And just going in one direction. These could be big circles, they can be small circles, whatever feels good. And then let's start to switch directions here. You might just notice that play that happens as the weight shifts from one sit bone to the other. Good. All right. So start to find both sit bones pressing evenly into the floor. So you really root down there. You can take your hands on top of your thighs. Let's roll the shoulders back a few times. Let's roll them forward. Good. Roll back again. And then allow your shoulder blades to release down your back. So you're feeling that openness across your heart and chest. There's a little lift of your sternum up towards the ceiling as you root into your sit bones. Allow your eyelids to close here. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out. Ha. And smooth, deep, full inhale. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out. Let it go. Ha. One more time. Deep inhale. Let the breath go. Ha. And then allow your lips to seal. Start to inhale through your nose. And then also exhale through your nose. There's a little bit of a sound here, so it should be audible to you, maybe audible to the person sitting next to you. You don't have to overdo it, but it sounds like ocean waves rolling in and out, or that Darth Vader sound. Maybe count your breath initially here, so inhaling to the count of 5 or 6, and then exhaling to that same number. So we're trying to keep the length of the inhale and the length of the exhale really nice and even. As you're sitting here, observe if your shoulders start to creep up around your ears. Just keep reminding yourself to soften them down. Good. From here, gently blink your eyes open, release your hands by your sides, and then turn the palms to face up. As you inhale, take the arms up overhead, and then press the palms away like you're moving through molasses here. Exhale. A couple times like that. Inhaling, kind of give yourself some resistance. And then exhale. Press the air away as you release the hands down. Let's do 2 more rounds like that. Inhaling. Keep rooting into your sit bones, lengthening nice and tall through the sides of your waist. Exhale. Y'all look great. One more here. Let's inhale, stretch up. And then we're going to interlace our fingers. And then you're gonna bend the elbow. So you're just kind of pressing your head into your hands. You can lean the elbows back a little bit. Might feel a little stretch in the armpit, chest area. Good, let's take a nice deep inhale here. As you exhale, drop right elbow down. Good, inhale back to center. Exhale, drop left elbow. Inhale up. Good, exhale, right releases down. Inhale. Exhale, dropping the left elbow. Good, inhale, center. And then exhale, drop that right elbow. Let's just hold here. Again, you might kind of press your head into that left forearm. It feels like you're leaning that left elbow back, so you might get a little more shoulder opening, and this can be quite intense. You're inhaling through your nose, you're exhaling through your nose. Then really root into your sit bones, press your right palm down, and then extend that left arm up and overhead. So the more you root into that left sit bone, the more you're going to start to feel this stretch through the left side of your waist. You might even begin to wrap your right ribs up towards the ceiling a little bit, perhaps gazing up underneath that top arm. And then you're also welcome to walk that right arm out as far as feels good. Some of us might be able to come onto the forearm. Good, we got a couple more breaths here. Feeling all of that lengthening through the side. All right, let's inhale, come up to center. As you exhale, release the hands by your sides. All right, so we've got our right ankle crossed in front, so press into your feet. You might want blocks here. We haven't done this in a minute. See if I can do it after sitting on an airplane for 16 hours yesterday. All right, stand up. Yeah, nice. Okay, right ankle is still crossed in front. Sit down. I think Daniel's coming to yell at me. All right. We're going to cross our left shin in front now. So just coming back to that nice, easy Sukhasana. And then, okay, can you all hear me okay? Thumbs up if it's okay. Okay. All right. So again, just find that nice comfortable seat, root down into your sit bones. Feel the shoulder blades releasing down your back. So make sure those shoulders aren't creeping up towards your ears. And then allow your eyelids to close. So again, we just find this stillness for a moment. Listen to that sound of your breath. And as you listen to that sound of the breath, you're trying to let go of all of the other sounds that are happening in the office that might be distracting, that might be catching your attention. Might be some thoughts knocking around in your head. You can also try to let those go. Sometimes that piece is harder. Doesn't have to look perfect. Always coming back to that sound of your breath. Good, and then gently blink your eyes open. Again, just release your hands by your sides, palms spin up, inhale, root into your sit bones, but lengthen through both sides of your waist. And then palms press outwards as you exhale. Just giving your body a little resistance here. Inhale, reaching up. You'll look terrific as you exhale. Pressing away. We got a couple more of these. Inhaling, taking up space, lengthening in your spine. Exhale. Good, one more inhale, reach up. And again, we interlace our fingers and then switch the cross. So kind of go for the way that feels funny. It doesn't matter if you do the same side twice. The world will keep turning. It will all be okay. Lean the elbows back here. So feel that stretch in the armpits across the chest. Root into your sit bones. As you exhale, drop left elbow down. Nice. Inhale to center. And then exhale, release. Right elbow down. Inhale up to center. Exhale. Good. Inhale up to center. Exhale. Inhale, center, and then exhale, dropping that left elbow down, taking a couple breaths here, maybe pressing the back of your head into that right forearm. It's helping you to find a little more of that stretch in the shoulder, in the armpit, in the chest. Breath smooth and steady as you exhale, root that left palm down. Same time that you're doing that, you're rooting into that right sit bone, and then extend your right arm up and over. Nice. So anchoring into the right sit bone, stretching through those right fingertips, getting that long line of energy. Can you release your left shoulder down? I can do a better job of that. Inhaling through your nose. Exhaling through your nose. Maybe there's a little twist here, so you're spinning those left ribs up slightly. You might be gazing up underneath that top arm, assuming it feels okay in the neck. Couple more good breaths here. All right, we're gonna inhale up to center. Exhale, release your hands down. So this time the left ankle is crossed in front. Doesn't have to look pretty. See if you can press up to standing. You might have to use your hands on blocks or chairs. That's fine. You might need a little momentum. You might need to curse. Also cool. Nothing like an F-bomb to make it a little easier. Yay. All right, so let's flip over to our tabletop position. So you are landing with your fingers spreading. Crease of the wrist is going to be parallel to the top of the mat. If you're a little tighter in the shoulders, you're going to take your arms a little wider and then turn those hands out. So knees are underneath your hips, lower belly's pulling in and up, and then we're just going to start to warm up the spine here. So as you inhale, arching in that lumbar, that lower back. Good. As you exhale, press the mat away, round in, chin drops towards chest, coming to the cat stretch, and then moving with your breath here. So I invite you to close your eyes. Sometimes that's really nice. It helps us to get inside our bodies a little more. We can feel what's going on. You can move a little faster if you're feeling a little lethargic, a little cold today. If you're feeling a little anxious, a little distracted, perhaps you slow your breath down, you stretch this movement out. You are paying attention to your spine, you're noticing how things are feeling. You're noticing where there's a sense of ease, you're noticing where there's a little congestion in your body. And hopefully we're going to work some of this out during the course of the next 40 minutes or so. Let's do a couple more rounds here. On your next inhale, you're going to come back to neutral spine, so you're neither arching nor rounding. You're going to feel your lower belly pull in and up a little bit. You're going to keep your gaze an inch or two in front of your fingertips. As we inhale, we're going to lift our right leg up. I'm wearing the wrong color pants here. It's been too long since I've done this. I'm sorry, I'm blending in. But you want to make sure that your hips are both pointing down so they're nice and even. Outer hips are squeezing in. You're feeling your inner right thigh roll up towards the ceiling. Your toes are pointing down. Then you can really be firming into that left shin. This is for sure a balance pose. We're going to make it a little harder. So keep your gaze an inch or two in front of your fingertips, root into your right palm, extend your left arm forward. So we have opposite arm and leg. See if you can reach out a little further through those left fingertips. Yeah, these look good. If you fall out, no big deal. All right, so just 3 of these. Alyssa, you can just stay here stretching out, but the rest of us, as we exhale, we're going to bring knee and elbow together. Inhale, find that length. Exhale, kind of rounding in a little cat stretch. One more exhale to a tiny little ball. Inhale, stretch out. Good, so go ahead and release hand down, release leg down, reset here. And then we'll take that to the second side. So again, you're feeling outer hips squeeze in. They're giving you that support. Your lower belly's pulling in and up. As you inhale, you lift your left leg. So that hip likes to open up. Keep that left hip rolling down towards the floor. Your toes are pointing down towards the floor. Your breath is smooth and steady. Your shoulder blades are releasing down your back. Keep rooting into your left palm. Stretch your right fingertips forward. So feel all of that nice length. These asymmetrical poses are really great for tractioning the spine. And then you're welcome to stay here like this. If you would like, you exhale, curl knee and elbow in towards each other. Inhale, use your breath to help you lengthen out. Exhale. Good, inhale. One more exhale, curl in. Inhale, lengthen out. And then exhale, release down. So let's find our table. Let's actually sit back on our heels and just give the wrists a little circle out. It's been like a week since we've done yoga, so the wrists might be feeling it. You can switch directions here. And then you can give the hands a little shake out. All right, so back to our tabletop. So I'm gonna switch around here. So from your tabletop, go ahead and curl your right toes under, extend that leg back to straight, so it's in plank pose. You're gonna firm down into that left shin. You're gonna roll to the inner edge of that right foot, press down into that left arm, and then stretch your right arm up. So little modified Vashisthasana. The more you firm into that left shin, usually the easier it feels. And then you can also seal into the back edge of your right foot. Notice if there's tension in your face and jaw. It happens in these balance poses. So this might feel like enough. If you would like, maybe you start to lift from the inseam of that right leg. So heel comes to hip height. I find that I have to firm down more into that left shin. That arm is working a little more. Maybe take that right arm up and over. So lengthening out. Are you breathing? All right, if you extended that arm up, go ahead, or forward, go ahead and reach it up. Release that right foot down and then unwind here. And we'll do that to the second side. So curling your left toes under, firm that leg back so it's in plank pose. You're gonna roll to the inner edge of that foot, firm down into your right shin. Your right shoulder is over your right wrist and you open up. And we've got triangle pose in our upper body. So we're lengthening through this right side of our waist. Shoulder blades are stacking on top of each other. One side is always easier than the other. Stay here like this. This is a great place to be. If you wanted to play with lifting from the inseam of your left leg, you could do that. So your toes are pointing forward. And you're gonna find these little micro movements happening in your body. That's good, that's you getting strong. If you fall out, it's no big deal. Maybe you take that top arm up and over. So again, we're getting this long stretch through that left side. Inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your nose. Good work, go ahead and stretch, left arm up. Release, left leg down. Unwind here, and then let's find a quick little child's pose. So you're gonna bring your big toes together, knees apart, and you can melt your hips back. Release your head down. Child's pose can be deceptively challenging. So if it's hard for you to lay your head down for whatever reason, that might be because of the hips or the shoulders, you could always rest your head on a block. Really reconnect with your breath again here. So find that rhythm. Couple more breaths. All right, so from here, let's start to roll on up. And just because we can, let's go ahead and curl our toes under. You might have to reach back, and then you're gonna sit back on your heels. So this can just be excruciating. If that's you, if you're in that camp, you're gonna actually walk your hands forward. So it's kind of more like in a tabletop, any position, and then you can take little breaks if you want to. So let's just say like 7 or 8 good breaths here, if you can do it. This will be the hardest part of the class, I promise, maybe. I stupidly wore boots on the airplane with a heel for many, many hours. Super, super cute, but not so comfortable. So this is killing me, if that makes you feel better. And you're like, stop talking. It's definitely been 7 or 8 breaths. So let's go ahead and come on out. Oh, circle the ankles. Stretch out the toes, give them a little wiggle out. And then let's find our tabletop position again here. You're gonna walk your hands forward. So we're giving ourselves a little more space. So we no longer have shoulders over wrists. The wrists are slightly forward. Curl those toes under again, and then start to make your way into your first downward facing dog. Feel free to find a little movement here. So fidgeting a little bit, pedaling back and forth between your feet. Sometimes it feels good to take the feet to one side and then the other. You can really do anything that is calling to you here. Sometimes it just feels best to be in a place of stillness. We're all going to move in that direction eventually. So at some point, you're going to land with your feet about hips distance apart. Second and third toe will be pointing forward. It's almost like you're hiding your heels behind your toes. Your sit bones stretch up towards the ceiling. You firm your front ribs towards the back ribs. So sometimes what happens is we can collapse a little bit, especially if we're a little more flexible. So we're giving ourselves a little support. And then you can peek forward between your hands. Just make sure that your fingers are spreading, that your arms are about shoulders distance apart. Again, if you're tighter in the shoulders, turning the hands out will be helpful. And then you firm the forearms in towards each other. So that helps to activate the muscles in the arms. Your gaze is soft and gentle between your feet. So your ears are lining up between your upper arms, your biceps. Then from here, let's just start to tiptoe our feet forward to meet our hands. And you can land with your feet hips distance apart. Toes can be together too if that feels comfortable for you. Make sure that the weight is evenly distributed. Let's all bring our hands to our shins or our thighs. As you inhale, chest lengthens forward, gaze comes forward, shoulder blades are squeezing in towards each other. As you exhale, you fold in. Couple times like that. Inhaling into Ardha Uttanasana. This is our half forward fold. Exhale into Uttanasana, our deep forward fold. 2 more. Inhale, lengthen. Gaze soft and gentle in front of you. Exhale, fold in. 1 more. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, fold in. Find a nice deep bend in your knees. As you inhale, start to roll on up. So you start to stack the vertebrae on top of each other. So you're coming to standing. And when you get there, go ahead and roll the shoulders back again a few times. And then find your nice Tadasana mountain pose. So stagger with each other if you need to so that you have enough room. And let's move into some of our Ardha Surya Namaskara, half sun salutes. So feel the arches in your feet lift. So you're lengthening through the sides of your waist. As you inhale, take the arms out and up. As you exhale, hinge forward, fold all the way in. Inhale, lengthen forward, so fingertips could be on the floor or hands on shins or thighs. Chest extends forward. Exhale, fold in. And then pressing into your feet, stretching arms out and up. Very nice. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. So let's do 3 more of those. I'll cue you 1 more and then we'll just do 2 more on our own. Arms reaching up. These look fantastic. As you exhale, you hinge forward, fold in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Good. Rooting into your feet, stretching arms out and up. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. So you got 2 more. I'm not going to cue you, so you can follow along with somebody in the room or just follow along with me if you know these well. You just close your eyes and move through 2 rounds, letting these feel really graceful and fluid. Finding space in your body, finding this sense of ease. Good. So just pausing in your Tadasana, palms together at your heart. Let's release hands down. As you inhale, arms reach out and up. Let's do a little side bend here. So as you exhale, release right arm down, left arm reaches up and over. Inhale up to center. Good. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale up to center. As you exhale, hinge forward, fold in. Good. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. So you're going to keep looking forward, bend your knees, plant your palms, step your right foot way back, then your left foot. So we're in our plank pose, top of a push-up, shoulders over wrists, stretching back through your heels as you reach forward through your sternum. You can always bring your knees down to the floor. Good. 1 more deep inhale. Exhale, shift forward. Go ahead and lower your knees. As you exhale, elbows bend. And then we're going to land in one piece on our bellies. So lengthen back through all 10 toes, really press into the tops of your feet. As you inhale, feels like you're going to drag that mat back towards your heels. Elbows are squeezing into the midline, Bhujangasana. Exhale, lower down. Inhaling, lifting, so super active legs here. Exhale, lower. It's a pretty tiny movement. So we're really trying to generate this back bend using these muscles in our back as opposed to using the strength of our arms to press us up. Couple more, inhaling. Chest extends forward, exhale. And then let's inhale, lift. So we're in our Bhujangasana. Gaze is just soft and gentle in front of you. From here, we're going to press to our tabletop, curl our toes under, downward facing dog. Few breaths. So make all of those little adjustments that you need to, and then just find that place of stillness. Gaze soft and gentle between your feet. Good. And then, so as you inhale, come to your tippy toes, stay in your downward dog, but find a bend in your knees. You can peek forward between your hands. The end of your exhale, let's step the right foot forward. Then the left foot forward to meet it. It's a surprisingly tricky move, so it need not look great. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold in. Root into your feet, stretch arms out and up. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. Nice work. Inhaling, arms reach up. So you exhale, side bend left. Inhale up to center. Exhale, side bend right. Inhale up. As you exhale, hinge forward, fold in. Inhale, lengthen forward. Keep gazing forward, bend knees, plant palms. This time take your left foot way back, then your right foot. Couple of breaths in the plank pose. Inhaling through your nose. Exhaling through your nose, stretching your body apart. So stretching heels back, sternum forward. And then again, shift forward on your toes, lower your knees. So you exhale, hover at halfway. Land in one piece on your belly. Inhale, low cobra, just one breath this time. Exhale, pass through your tabletop. Curl your toes under, downward dog. We have 5 breaths here. Observe how this downward dog is starting to feel differently in your body as we begin to warm up. And then the end of your exhale, just find a little bend in your knees, step your left foot forward, and then your right foot forward to meet it, and then adjust your feet as needed. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, fold in. Pressing down, taking arms out and up. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. Nice work. Inhale, arms reach out and up. As you exhale, hinge, forward fold in. Inhale, lengthen. Bend knees, plant palms, right foot back, then left. Option to come to your knees again if you want to do your full chaturanga. Stay in your plank pose, elbows bend, and then all the way down. As you inhale, you come into your low cobra. If you're ready for an up dog, drag your hands back a lot. Check to see that your elbows are over your wrists. And then you inhale, press into the tops of your feet, press into your hands. So your shins, your knees, your thighs are lifting up off the floor. Your shoulder heads are pressing back. From here, you can roll over your toes, make your way into your downward facing dog. And then from here, we're going to inhale, lift our right leg up. Exhale, step that foot through between your hands. You might have to pick it up and move it. You're going to land on your left knee. So make sure that your arms, or your hips rather, your legs are about hips distance apart. Make sure that your right knee is over your right ankle. And then just melt this left hip down towards the floor. This is a great place to put your hands on blocks, especially if the hip flexors are a little tighter. I'm just taking a few breaths here. All right, so Alyssa, you're gonna do a little twist to the left. The rest of us are gonna press our left hand down. Shoulder is gonna be over that wrist. You might even take your hand on a block. We're gonna keep pressing to the inner edge of this right foot and then twist to the right, perhaps extending that right arm up. So your shoulder blades are stacking on top of each other. Gaze can be down, it can be forward, it might be up. Breath is smooth and steady, inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your nose. We got a couple more breaths here. Good deep inhale. Exhale, let's all unwind, and then we're gonna come into our little hurdler stretch. So you might walk your hands back a little bit. You're straightening this right leg. You're drawing your right hip back, left hip forward. So we're trying to square both hips forward. And then let's just point and flex the foot if you can move with the breath. So exhaling, you might point the toes. You can feel that stretch in the foot, which is really nice. Inhale, point the toes back. Exhale. Good, inhale, a couple more. All right, so let's go ahead and bend that right knee again. Bring both hands up to your right thigh. You might have to adjust here. You might need to walk that right foot off to the right, especially if you're feeling a little unsteady. Direct your tailbone down. Lengthen through the sides of your waist. Inhale. Bring your arms up. So a little Anjali-asana, low crescent lunge. You got a few breaths here. Maybe you are starting to bring your gaze up towards the ceiling, towards your palms. They might even be pressing together. Good work. And then really feel those outer hips squeeze in. Bring your left or right fingertips rather to your left wrist. Side bend to the right. Keep those outer hips squeezing in towards each other to give you a little support. Feel the shoulder blades releasing down your back. Good. Inhale, back up to center. As you exhale, hands plant. So curl left toes under, keep your hips nice and low. Change my angle here. And then see if you can sneak that right foot back so you land in your plank pose. Good, and then your choice here. You either go back to your downward facing dog. If you want your Chaturanga Vinyasa, whatever that looks like, you can take that, build a little more heat. Those are always optional. We all meet in downward dog. And then we inhale, lift our right leg. Exhale, step that foot through. Tricky, tricky move, hardest move in yoga. So scoot the foot forward if you need to. Make sure you're not on a tightrope. Pad up that right knee if you need to. And then just taking a few breaths here, allowing that right hip flexor to release down to the earth. And get a nice little stretch there. You're observing how this side feels different in your body. Connecting with that sound of your breath again. Good. All right, and then we're going to find our twist. So root down into your right palm. Really press to the inner edge of this left foot. That knee loves to wing out. We're going to keep squeezing it in. And then shoulder blades stack on top of each other. So you might even notice if you're one of those kind of leans that top arm back more than you need to. Instead, think about rolling those right ribs up towards the ceiling as you press into the inner edge of your left foot. Inhaling through your nose. Exhaling through your nose. Maybe gazing up at that left thumb. Good deep inhale. Let's exhale, unwind, and then we come into that little hurdler's lunge. So walk your hands back. They might come on blocks. Fingertips on blocks is great here, especially if your hamstrings are tighter. A nice deep inhale, flexing the foot, and then exhale, point. Good, and it might just be the tiniest movement in your body. We're all built a little different. We all have different things going on. It's funny how your camera like starts to zoom in there. All right. So let's go ahead and set up for our Anjali-asana. So left knee over left ankle. directing your tailbone down. Inhale, arms reach up. Feel those outer hips squeezing. Feel those shoulder blades squeezing in towards each other. And you might be bringing your gaze up. You might be pressing your palms. Then really, really, really vigorously squeeze those outer hips in. Left fingertips to right wrist. Find that side bend. I always think it feels really yummy in this stretch. Just kind of gets into some deeper places in this configuration with the legs. All right. Inhale, come on up to center. As you exhale, your hands plant. Curl those right toes under so that leg is in plank. See if you can keep your hips this low as you sneak your left leg back. And then again, your choice, pull back to your downward facing dog. Take a Chaturanga Vinyasa if you would like to. Good, and then from here, let's inhale, find a little bend in our knees, come to our tippy toes. End of your exhale, you can walk both feet forward, step one, then the other. You want to play with a little spring forward, so hopping both feet through, you can do that. Inhale, chest lengthens. Exhale, fold in. Press into your feet, stretch arms out and up. Nice. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. All right, so let's stand into our left foot, and then you can just bring your hands underneath that right thigh. Just bending that knee. And in fact, let's go ahead and release, and let's just do that a couple times. Just so release that foot down, and then inhale, lifting. Exhale, release. Good, inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Good, inhale, lift. Keep this left hip squeezing in. Okay, so exhale, find a little external rotation. That right leg, inhale, come back to center. Exhale, external rotation. Inhale, center. One more. Exhale. Inhale. And then go ahead and release that right leg down. Walk the legs out. Okay, so we'll just start with arms by the sides this time. So inhale, lift. So you're really just trying to generate this movement at the hip flexor. Exhale, release down. Inhale, lift. It's a little core work here. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Good. Exhale, open up. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale. It's a little bit of a butt burner here. Inhale. Good. Exhale. Inhale. And then go ahead and release down. Give the legs a little shake. And let's take that into our Vrikshasana tree pose. So really root down into that left foot. Feel this left hip squeeze into the midline. Come up onto your right toes. Find that external rotation again. It's a little easier with the toes on the floor. They might stay here. You might lift that foot, right foot to your left shin. You might reach down, snuggle that foot into your left thigh, so above the knee. Leg and foot are pressing in towards each other and out against each other at the same time. That standing foot is doing all kinds of work to keep you upright. So tree pose is a really great pose for strengthening the feet. Good. Maybe you start to extend your branches up. Looking good. Maybe you start to bring your gaze up. And then one more time here, let's bring our right fingertips to our left wrist and let's side bend our tree. Woo. So leaning off to the right, you might fall out, no big deal. Feel that stretch through the left side. Good, and then just allow yourself to fall out. Give everything a little shake. And we'll come into the second side. So rooting into your right foot, that outer right hip is squeezing in. Just come up onto those left toes. Find that external rotation at the left hip socket. This is the pose. This counts. So you might go no further. You might lift your left foot to your right shin. You might be able to snuggle that foot above your knee. This side might look different than the other side. That's okay. And then it's like this isometric work happening. So leg and foot press in against each other and out against each other at the same time. Are you breathing? Keep the breath moving. It often slows down in these static balance poses. Good, stretch the arms up. So growing as tall as you can, you could just imagine that somebody is just gently tractioning you up by your wrists and also keeping you steady. Left fingertips come to that right wrist, really stretch up, and then find that side bend. It might just be the tiniest amount. You're gonna love that stretching through the right side. Again, every little configuration we take gives us different sensation in the body. So similar but different. And then let it go. Give everything a little shake out. All right, so let's move into a little bridge pose on our back. So you're gonna go ahead, come to lying down. You're gonna land with your ankles underneath your knees, perhaps even slightly forward, especially if you're a little tighter in the knees, in the quadriceps, the hip flexors. Feet are about hips distance apart here. You're feeling the arches lift, you're pressing evenly into your feet. And as you're doing this pose, you just wanna keep your gaze up at the ceiling. So you're not gonna look side to side. Got a lot of pressure on our necks as we come into our bridge pose. So arms by your sides. Let's just move with the breath a few times here, pressing evenly into your feet as you inhale. Lift the hips up off the mat. And then exhale, roll down one vertebra at a time. Inhaling, feet press, hips lift. Exhale, lower down. Good, inhaling, lifting. Exhale, lower. And then let's inhale, lift the hips up. We're gonna stay here, so keep breathing. Notice if you're starting to roll to the outer edges of your feet, press more to the inner edges. You could grab the outer edges of your mat here, snuggle your shoulders underneath you. You also might interlace your fingers underneath you. The same actions happening, just rocking those shoulders underneath you. So in this bridge pose, our shoulders are like feet pressing into the mat. So they are bearing a lot of the weight here. You're feeling your sternum gently lift up towards the ceiling as you direct your tailbone forward towards the backs of your knees, towards your heels. Good. One more deep inhale. Maybe lift your hips a micromillimeter more. And then exhale, slowly lower down. Good. So let's walk our feet as wide as the mat. Bring your arms out in a T shape or a cactus shape. And then you're just going to start to windshield wiper your legs back and forth. Just helping to release out the lower back. So the knees fall one direction, then the other. You kind of decide how far you're going to go. Good. Walk your feet back to center. So that bridge pose setup, you can bring your arms by your sides. Let's take our right ankle above our left knee, flex that foot. You can take your right hand, press into that thigh. So a little hip opener here. I say little, it might be big. If you're feeling like you need a little more, you might start to bend your left knee into your chest. You're going to reach your right hand through that triangle you've made with your legs, either interlacing fingers around that left thigh or left shin. And here too, you can wedge that right elbow into your thigh. That will help to drag that hip forward, help you to find a little more space, a little more sensation. Breath smooth and steady. If you would like a little hamstring stretch here, maybe you extend that left leg to straight. You can either hold the thigh or you might grab up a little higher on the leg, sort of drag that leg closer to you using the strength of your arms. And you can think both feet flexed here. And we're deep inhale. And then exhale, go ahead and release, uncross that right ankle. And then we'll take the second side, which could feel different. So left ankle crosses above right knee, flex that foot. You can take your left hand into that thigh, gently press forward. You need a little more. You're skipping that if you don't. You might bend your right knee in, interlace fingers either around that shin or thigh. Noticing how this side feels in your body, how it's different than the other side. And then again, if you wanted to get into that hamstring, you could bring that right leg to straight and you choose where you hold on to that leg, kind of just finding that place where you're getting the best stretch for your body. Okay, let's take one more deep inhale. Exhale, go ahead and release, and then give the knees a little squeeze into your chest, rock and roll from side to side. And then start to make your way into your Shavasana. So we'll have a couple minutes here. I'll just let you know when the time is up, but make sure that you're comfortable. Again, you can find a little bit of that bridge pose feeling, so kind of snuggling your shoulder blades underneath you so you get a little lift of your heart and chest. Palms facing up helps to find a little more openness in the shoulders. You can take your legs out a little wider than hips distance, and then just allow them to kind of externally rotate a little bit. And let's all take one deep, smooth inhale here together. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, ha. Melt in here, so completely let go, completely relax. It's finding a peaceful, restful Shavasana. Good. So let your next inhale be deeper. Open your mouth, let the breath go ha. And start to wiggle your fingers and toes, circle your ankles and wrists. So bringing a little movement back to your body. Be stretching out. And then let's all just roll to the left side today. Eventually using your hands to help you press up to a comfortable seat. So ending classes, we started in this Sukhasana, but notice how it feels differently. Hopefully it feels like there's a greater sense of ease in your body. You're sitting a little taller. Notice how your breath has shifted, how your headspace has shifted. Finally, just send yourself love and gratitude for showing up, for working hard. Promise yourself that you're going to carry this good feeling with you into the rest of the day ahead. Bring your palms together at your heart and just bow your head with a smile. Thank you.